Whoa! I didn't even see him. Thank you, Spencer.
Gracias, Spencer.
Welcome in. We are here for our post-Dover episode. I did not even see Tegan Jones in here until moments after we began.
Yeah, I noticed.
Well, clearly, so did the audience, I think. We've got a full barn today with a unique crew. I'd say this is a pod 6-some that we've never had before, right?
No, y'all definitely have. Sub me out for Ryan.
Yeah.
Bradley has never.
True, but Matt was in for Bradley, though.
Right.
There's been a time where y'all had, like, instead of Bradley, it was Matt, and instead of me, it was like.
When there one night, we actually had to take turns.
Yeah, I came in. Yeah, from work.
Yeah. And it was me.
Bradley's here. Welcome to your first. I think this is like your first legit pod episode.
I guess.
Three seasons in. 12 episodes into the third season. How we feeling, Bradley? Let's get your thoughts on the race before we go into anybody else's thoughts.
It was one of the better races this year, other than the air blocking and Bowman and Hamlin cussing each other out. But other than that, I thought it was one of the better races of the year. Frustrating with the pit call with Bowman, but hey, he ran top 5 all day, finished 8th. I'll take it.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision by Blake Harris to pit Bowman immediately after the green flag pit stop and get him behind Daniel Hemrick.
Roadblock.
Yeah. And he really didn't move for a while, so.
No, when Bowman finally caught him, Bowman hit him in the middle of the straightaway.
Yeah.
Once he broke the bubble, he hit him. And then Hemrick just went whoop, right out the way.
All in, baby. Yeah, who laughing? Meow.
Did we get an update?
I changed the little thing.
Okay, it looks better.
I think so too. Like the cleaner names, you know.
Yeah. You also spent all that time on the background, and you can't even see it.
Yeah, you cannot see the background with 6 people, so I was wasting time. How long were you in here before we started, Tegan, or before I started?
Not long. Literally, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, because I can only see like the row of 5 on the bottom, and then I just noticed like a little icon under it. So that's how I figured it out. Kevron's here also. He is cutting up some dinner.
Yes, sir.
Show the audience what you've got going on there.
Yes, sir. We've got, for those that know what a crappie is, there you go. Already got half of it done. Ugh.
All right.
But yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, give me your thoughts on the race, Kevron. I think you actually have an opposite opinion of Mr. Bradley up there in the middle top section.
Not completely opposite. It was some kind of race that I couldn't connect with. I absolutely hate these cars. I hate them. Air blocking. I hope I never hear that garbage ass name ever or word ever again.
I think you will. I think
yeah.
you will hear
I know we will.
will.
I know. And that'll be the time I'll turn the TV off or change it to the Kentucky Derby next week because I can't I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
I think you'll hear it next week, probably.
Really quick though.
Kansas.
Shout out to Noah Gregson. He done pretty good with the car that he had. Finished up there in top 5.
Them Straw cars, they're trimmed out. You can tell.
Yeah, he was 15th to 20th place car all day and got lucky with that yellow.
Yeah. Wessel, you were raising your hands down there. What's up?
Karen was pointing his knife, man.
You're gonna give him all you had. It seemed like. Give him your little Dwayne Johnson hat. Please take it.
I don't know why it's so damn smoky in there.
Ooh, Wessel's room?
Yes, it's a little blurry or something. Are you smoking doobies?
No, this fucking this camera's like really, really bad. And it probably is like
wipe it off. Get the cum off of it.
Never really been cleaned. That is actually way better. Look, that camera. I have never cleaned off the front of that camera before. Ever.
That's not Wessel's jizz. That looks like Tegan's jizz.
Oh man.
What y'all do? What
He's got to stay on the team somehow.
Tegan Jones, your thoughts on the race?
Like Kevron, I could take it or leave it. I mean, I've always enjoyed Dover, so
So have I.
even with this car, it's not missed yet. So
It's the same. Like there's tracks that have changed with the new car. I don't think
Yeah.
Dover is much different than it used to
I just
be.
wish the tire wear would wear out a little about 10, 20 laps sooner than what it does because it seems
Yeah.
to last about the same
It
amount
falls
as the
off
fuel
a
run.
cliff. It's weird. The way I wish it would wear more
Yeah.
consistently through the run, and it would be
Yeah.
better.
Agreed.
The tire wear, it's good. Like I think by the end of the run, it's where it needs to be. But it needs to be more gradual instead of just a cliff.
Yeah, the switch.
Yeah. Sally, thoughts from you?
It was a good race. I mean, I'm kind of agree with Tegan and you. I've never really hated Dover. Like I remember mid 2000s when you'd be lucky if you had 10 cars on the lead lap by the time
Yes.
that thing ended.
Harvick finished 2 laps down in ninth one race because they had a 20-car accident. So
Yeah.
that
Was
was a
the
good
year
race.
that Jimmy fucking missed a shift?
No, that was 2004. That was after Harvick was in the 4 car. This was why Harvick
That
was
was
in the
six.
29.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is when, like, I think Casey Kane hit the oil and took everybody out with him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What-
like it was a 20-car pileup.
Was that like 11 or 12 maybe? I feel like
No,
Tony
it-
Stewart in that.
It
or-
was Tony
I think
Stewart
that
and Elliott
was-
Sadler.
9 or something. Yeah, Harvick was in the 29 car, like with that with the flame good wrench
Good
wrench paint
Yeah.
scheme. So that
That
was pre 2011.
Yeah, that was when him and or Sadler, Elliott Sadler, wrecked, and everybody piled in, including Danny Hamlin.
I actually did thoroughly enjoy that race. I kind of thought the stages kind of interrupted the flow it had. And I'm mostly a fan of stage cautions. I don't hate them, but I thought the race had a nice green flag feel and it had interesting and compelling strategy calls at some points and the pit runs were sort of interesting.
I still think this race ended earlier than what they planned on. This race went green.
I mean, they started it at 2.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
they
thought
started
this
at-
race was going to get done by 5:30 or something. So
I think the time was great. I loved that it started at 2:15, 2:30. You know, I think that's
Same here.
Yeah.
that's perfect. I don't
definitely used to it. It felt
Yeah,
odd.
but I like that better than,
3 and 4, almost 4,
3:45,
sometimes pushing
almost
4.
4.
I can definitely tell that it started earlier because like I worked an hour earlier than I usually do on Sunday. And usually about every Sunday I get home I can catch like the last half of the last stage pretty much.
Yeah.
And I caught like the last 41 laps of the race. I was listening to it pretty much the whole time at work though. But
So I thought it was good. You know, you can pass until maybe the guy in front of you decides you can't. Because you can air block, I think, at any part of the track. I think leading helps with that because then you can't get affected by other people's air. So Denny Hamlin wasn't having those issues. But, I mean, you had Kyle Larson go from 21st to 2nd. You had Truex starting back there. You had Chase go from 29th to 5th. And they all did it, I'd say, relatively quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say Larson moved insanely fast through the field. It was a bit of and so did Truex. It was a bit of a slower climb up for Chase, but once he got in the top 10, he definitely would gain spots in the long run. And, you know, I thought it was a quintessential Dover race. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It's what we've seen there plenty of times. You know, you have a late battle for the win, which we have seen at Dover a few times. You know, you can think back to Elliott and Kyle Busch in 2017. One of the better ones is 2006, Jeff Burton, Matt Kenseth battling for the win there. Jeff Burton breaking his big drought. It's all that's coming to my
Roush
brain. But
had
there's
that
been
1, 2, 3, 4 finish. Where was it 1 through 5? I know it was 1
When?
through 4.
before, like that wasn't that year, but it was.
No,
before
I mean I'm
that.
talking about another year. Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
a good race.
I think there was years maybe Biffle and Edwards. I think we're going at
Yeah.
it there. Right.
Yeah,
I think
that
that's when
makes
they got
sense.
that one.
Biffle was or not Biffle. Well Biffle was too, but not as much as Carl. Carl Edwards was always just really good on the concrete tracks, especially there at Dover.
Concrete Carl, right?
Mhm.
That's right.
Let's talk about Denny Hamlin. Does he slide himself in firmly as the championship favorite? Third win of the year. And I think you can argue that his 3 wins have been more impressive than William Byron's first 3 wins. They are I believe, only 2 with multiple at this point. Hendrick and JGR continue their dominance. Anybody can chime in who would like to. Thoughts on this win for Denny, and is he the championship favorite right now?
Well, don't
It's
worry
tough
about
to say, man. I like Denny. It's tough to put him as a championship favorite because it seems like every year at this point
This early.
he's in the top
Every year.
2-3 of championship favorites like every single year. And he just never pulls through. It's
For Harris.
I don't know because like last year it felt different and then it ended up being the same. So I don't want to say that this year feels different again, and him get bounced in the round of 8 again. Like
Right. But we've got to name. He's won technically 4 races so far this year, if you include the Clash. He's won the Clash, Bristol, Richmond, Dover. You know, they all have in common shorter tracks. And where do we end?
Yep.
At
How
a
did Denny
shorter,
Running at the same package.
not as they ran
Well,
today.
Not at
but-
Dover and Bristol, but
Richmond and the Clash, and the Toyotas were very strong at Phoenix. Denny spun out.
you also have to
going
remember
there.
Richmond runs the same tire as Phoenix, I believe, right? They're on the same tire, same
Yeah.
package.
So Denny has showed to me, at least so far, that he's the favorite for the championship, or at least right now.
Phoenix, I'm not worried about him.
had those
Phoenix. It
fucking
seems like
playoff
the
points
problem.
so he can coast. Is what he better
Ryan
do.
Parsons, Hamlin
The,
choking another possible year will happen. That's very likely. Oh man,
I don't think Phoenix is the problem. It seems like his problem the last couple of years has just been
Getting
getting
to
through
Phoenix.
the 3 before.
Yeah.
right. He has
Um,
not made a Final Four in the next gen car. So
I mean, we're just on the 3rd year.
Which is strange if you think about it, because he's probably top 3 in wins in the next gen car, top 2 in wins in the next gen car. I would say Byron's
to
probably
Byron.
1, and then he might be 2.
yeah, it's a toss up. I'd say between because
Larson,
Yeah, I mean-
Byron, and Hamlin.
and Denny. Yeah, I can agree with that. I feel like Chase is kind of close behind him because he got that 5 in the 1 year. That's a pretty big margin in this day and age to get 5 wins in a year. So he's probably just behind those guys because Denny, while Denny's ran strong these last couple of years, he hasn't really gotten as many wins as you'd think. He got, I think, 2 in 2022 and 3 last year. And he's already got his best win total in the next gen car, tied it. And we're, 12, 11 races in. So that's pretty strong. Any other thoughts from anybody on Denny? Bradley, you're a big Denny fan. What do you think?
He's just a hat.
Yeah.
I was about to say, ask Joshua Harris to get him to comment. I know he's got an opinion about it.
Harris has definitely, he's hitting the whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter anyways.
If I knew if the shirt was clean or dirty, I would
Oh my
love
goodness.
the hack shirt. Nice
Never
lifestyle.
mind.
You all right over there, Kevron?
Yeah, my knife wanted to kill my camera stand, so never mind me. Y'all go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
I'm almost done.
I will say
Um,
it's a different Denny, and
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
You're gonna
think,
say it?
I think he's all in here.
Oh baby.
All in
Oh,
last year and beat
sad.
Who was it?
David
I think it was Parker Kligerman on Twitter said, I think this is his year or something finally.
I feel like everybody's gonna say it until he retires, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Every year is his year,
Yeah.
and then it
'Cause
does
he-
end up being
he
his
is-
year. Then he
I don't think he
retires.
retires until he gets it. I think we're going to see him
Yeah.
have to.
I think he's still got
literally
plenty of time, though. I mean,
walking
he's
with a
still
cane to
he
get into
hasn't
the
lost
car.
a step yet.
yeah.
Well, if you're Kyle Petty, he's never going to win it.
I mean, he's right on the edge of winning one. He just
Kyle Petty has a vendetta against him anyway.
got to quit
If he
putting
forever
big
now.
one.
if he can
Yeah.
put together a good, either like Tegan said, stack up the playoff points, or just get over
I mean,
the
Ryan,
hump of that last round.
Yeah.
at least he makes the championship. Cowboys
That's a
can't
good
do that.
TBH.
Well, he hasn't the last couple of years.
I mean, but he's made it before.
Yeah. He made it 3 years in a row.
I
But
mean,
the thing
Cowboys
is,
have
like,
20 years, 25 years, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I think Denny Hamlin has established himself as firmly the best driver of all time that has not won a championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he's
I
got
can
And
agree.
then when he
54
does win
wins.
the championship, that title will go back to Mark Martin.
Yep.
It will. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mark Martin's
if
going.
he does,
I need him to win a
Yeah.
championship then, so Mark Martin is still relevant somehow.
Yeah,
He's still relevant by giving Gucci Man a lot of love.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
He
He's still
loves
relevant
Gucci
'cause he
Mane.
likes to
Look,
rap.
me and Mike were talking about this
Yeah.
in the party the other day. I saw that interview and I was like, "What the fuck is this,
dude? Mark Martin was in the fucking rap weeds because if you know what Dat Piff is, he was on there downloading free music on Dat Piff back there in 2005. You know, listening to Lemonade by Gucci Mane. A little icy out there. Ryan Harp with a
Martin's
pretty
got
hot
some
take.
gangster in him.
He does. Mark Martin greater than Denny Hamlin? I don't think so.
Not a Denny fan, but no. Denny Hamlin has
I'm a Mark
61
Martin fan,
wins.
and I'll disagree.
54.
I
That
think
was his
it's real.
54th, just tied with Lee Petty, one behind Rusty Wallace now.
Oh, did you say
Are you
my
raised-
name?
Who?
Suarez passed his test.
He did, yes!
Let's go.
He's a citizen. He is a Daniel Suarez is an American, a United States
Who
citizen.
took it for him?
Damn.
Hey, my amigo Sal, how are you doing? This is your.
I wonder if it was Kamala Harris.
He was
it
doing
Kamala
a little.
Harris?
He was doing a little test thing the other day for it on like social media, and he could not figure out the vice president's name.
I think he had the idea. He just could not say the name.
He said
Which,
Alma.
to be honest, most Americans
Alma
do.
Harris.
To be
He said
honest,
Alma
most of them
Harris,
don't get
then
it right.
Alma Adams, then he said her name wrong anyway, but he got it. He was close enough, so they said.
Who
Sure.
got it when it counted, baby? That's all
Yeah.
that matters.
That's, probably
That's
what it
awesome.
is. That was the one he was allowed.
Congratulations, Daniel Suarez, official United States citizen. Anyway, we got sidetracked, but yeah, Denny. I mean, he's tied for 12th, I think, on all-time wins now, which that's really impressive. People can say what they want about him, but for him to be doing this in his mid-40s, and I'd argue he's performing better than ever. You know,
It's shades of Jeff Gordon, if you ask for my opinion. In his performance now, he didn't start off like Jeff Gordon.
So
but
Jeff Gordon, I think, was
Jeff Gordon got off his success before 40. It's kind of like shades of Harvick. Harvick
Yeah.
kind of peaked
Yeah,
in his
I-
40s.
I'd say
I agree.
Jeff really only had one elite year in his 40s. I mean, he had a lot of good to great years in his 40s, but his only elite year in his 40s was 2014,
Yeah,
where he
I agree.
where he pulled off 4 wins and you know really should have been in that championship race and was
Brad
leading
Keselowski.
on Brad and fucking
Newman.
fat fuck Newman. That fucking dude pisses me off. Oh
Just the name.
my,
God.
I was man.
about
I was
2013.
11 years old. 2013.
Oh, I thought it was 24. Oh, well.
Well, 2013, he was quite lucky to be there.
Shouldn't have been.
Um,
Really should not have been.
there were some circumstances
Biased. He
that
should
were
not have been there.
that
he
were
should
out
not
of
have
his
been there.
control.
They created an extra slot for him.
That is right. That was that year, wasn't it? Frick.
Spin gate.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
There
then
was a lot
that's
going
right.
on.
it was your spin gate.
It was
Broke
Team
the
gate.
playoff format. Literally broke the
Dude,
chase format.
fucking Penske was paying Front Row Motorsports to
park
let Logano pass Gilliland. And how much is Gordon missed by 1 point, right? Fucking horse shit. All right. Bullshit. He should that 13th spot was warranted. They should have kicked Logano out. W Mike, that's right. Thanks, Ryan Newman. I'm glad. Does anybody here like Ryan Newman? I don't.
He is a step
Okay.
above Robbie Gordon.
At least Robbie Gordon's entertaining.
Yeah, Robbie Gordon kind of stood on business though. I mean, when he got black flagged at Montreal, he just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
win this race anyway and do a burnout regardless."
With
Like,
Kevin Harvick.
To me,
A
that
former
kind of goes
teammate he
hard.
couldn't stand.
That kind of goes hard. Like,
That does.
Yeah. it goes kind of hard. So shout out Robbie Gordon.
Dude was a
I
menace.
feel like
He
he
legit
raced in the
was,
wrong
dude.
era.
What era
You
do
know?
you think he belongs in?
I think he'd be good in this one.
Robbie?
Yeah, more road courses, the next gen car. I feel like it'd be good for him. Marcus Ambrose also, I feel like raced in the wrong era. And I also think Marcus Ambrose was just in a shitty car his whole career. I mean, your
Yeah,
guy
I have to
Harvick
say
said
you're
it,
right.
Tegan. Marcus Ambrose would have been a very good NASCAR driver if he actually had a car to do it with. You know, looks like Tegan doesn't agree, but
I agree.
Tegan
Why
only
not?
wants them American boys.
No, I think you just put way too much stock in because of car.
I think it makes a big difference. But I want to hear your thoughts, Mr. Jones, on Kevin Harvick returning to practice the number 5 car at the All
Didn't
Star race.
qualify.
He's going to
I-
qualify. to
Oh,
win.
and to qualify.
I
yeah.
was hoping that he'd be eligible, because then maybe it'd rain in Indy. Kyle Larson
And
had
Larson
to stay and
stuck
qualify
there.
his little car and just give up the race. But
Little
yeah,
car.
Harvick can't race it, so I hope he goes out there and lots it up. I think this is the shades of Mark Martin when he retired from the 01 car and then came back to drive the fucking 5 car.
And was a dog.
Gonna be
And yeah, it was really
interesting.
good. Finished second in the championship and then won races. But who does Harvick replace? Sorry, it's going to be Alex Bowman. I had to do it.
This is going.
I was planning on doing it, and if
Bowman
you
has
were
the
here, it made it perfect.
Bowman has the money. What's Harvick have now? With
You think
Butch over
Harvick
Chastain?
wouldn't get the money?
You don't think Harvick wouldn't get the money?
Harvick
get
would get
the
the
money,
money.
I'm pretty sure Rick.
He might
Hendrick
not- he
chose
might not
Harvick
get
because
Bush
his
back,
name
but
is
he'll
on the
get the
car.
money.
I'm sure he can sponsor 2 cars. If Haas can sponsor 2 cars, so can Rick.
Yeah,
Well, we get poor Bradley on right here, and Tegan's already stoking the little fire. You know.
he's just upset that I ran his ass down last night and beat him.
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
It's
That's
getting
okay.
spicy.
Shots fired.
It's getting spicy around here, baby. Any comment back to that, Tegan?
No, I ain't going to comment tonight.
Okay.
I'll comment later.
Oh boy. Oh, off camera, a little devious activity. Kevron's getting a little heated over there with the fish and the beef. I
Hey,
mean,
I'm
there's a
telling
lot
you.
going on. Yeah, Harris drops the beef comment.
That's right.
Let's talk about Noah Gragson. I know Kevron gave him a little shout out. Definitely a good run for him. Lost the top 5 late, but this is going to lead us into another conversation we've had, and we've kind of covered this before. I feel like every driver at SHR is kind of racing for a job right now.
Chase Briscoe's in an option year on Stuart Haas's side, not his. So I'm telling you, Chase Briscoe, his job may be on line, or it may be between the other 2.
The 3,
I don't know about
I think
Barry.
Priest is out.
Barry be yeah. I think we all know Priest is out, but I think it's a
Mhm.
toss up between Briscoe, maybe Gregson.
I think Briscoe's got to stay at least right now, just because he's the only one that's won.
He's the only
He took
one.
him to the round. John made it.
He's the only one.
He's the only one that won in this car. He took him to the round of 8, and he's had good runs elsewhere, and he is, I believe, top 12 in points right now. I think he's 12.
Sure.
All right, this guy's trolling me right now. But I think he deserves to stay. So we're going to go around the horn here. If you are Tony Stewart / Gene Haas today, right now, and you have to decide who your 2 drivers are for next year, who's it going to be? We'll go in order. Goodness gracious.
Who is that?
Sorry.
It's okay, Sally.
Sal, that is such.
That's an ugly
And-
ringtone.
That is an old fuck ringtone.
Oh my
That's what
God.
that is.
We'll go Bradley. We'll go in order. So Bradley, you kick us off. Who would be the 2 SHR guys you'd pick?
I mean, if you want to keep Rodney, you got to keep Barry, funding or not. And then the only other driver that has funding is Briscoe. So those would be the 2. But Gregson, he's been the best
Has the
SHR driver.
option of bringing bigger funding than Briscoe.
Yeah, I mean, but Priest is by far he's gone. Like,
Yep.
there's no
Yeah.
keeping Priest. It's a toss up between Barry, Gregson, and Briscoe. But as of now, if Noah can't bring any money, more money before the year is over, which he will, it would have to be Briscoe and Barry, because you don't want Rodney going anywhere.
Yeah.
Why not?
Kevin?
Ronnie can't set this car up anyway, so fucking who cares?
Yeah.
But Rodney's still
Jeez.
one of the top quarterbacks, crew chiefs.
Quarterback.
He's slanging that pigskin.
That's
I
right.
mean, that's essentially what the crew chief is for.
It is. It's a good point. Yeah.
I have to agree with Bradley. It'll be keeping Barry and Briscoe. Briscoe for the money, but Barry just because you just put him in a car. He's fresh in the cup. Let him build up that experience. He's in decent equipment. I know. But
What are we laughing at?
I don't,
Just watch the middle, bottom, and top right.
You gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop doing that.
I'm not holding this podcast hostage. It's yours, man.
You've got to stop doing that every time. Every time I see you go like this, I see Cameron holding that.
I literally
You
just
gotta-
got done, so no more.
You gotta stop doing that.
Oh, jeez.
Are you done? Do you have anything left to say, Cameron?
I'll stop.
Okay.
Yeah, no. But yeah, Barry and Briscoe stay.
Okay, Tegan.
I think Barry stays just because that seems to be
Sorry, I had
their
PTSD.
all-in pick from Tony Stewart. So
Yeah.
I still think it's a toss-up between Briscoe and Gregson. If Gregson tells him that he can bring fucking Bass Pro for half the fucking races next year, I think they bring bigger money than whatever tractor that is that's on that fucking red car. So,
Mahindra.
I don't even, yeah, it's not even John Deere. So
I need
think
like
if
a
Gregson offers
really.
Bass Pro, you keep Noah Gregson.
I really need
Yeah.
a good Chase Briscoe Ross Chastain battle, and one's sponsored by fucking Kubota, and the other one's got Mahindra.
That's a great point. Are you who do you lean towards? Wessel?
I would probably go Gregson, Barry.
Gregson Barry?
I think, yeah. I mean, the Gregson seems to be the best right now. I know he has a point penalty that's kind of killing him, and he's had a couple unlucky finishes and stuff. But I feel like as far as speed wise, I think he's been the best SHR car so far this year. And then Barry, I mean, he's the new guy that you just brought in. I feel like you need to give him more time.
And that's the one they went on. I mean,
Yeah.
they literally went out of their way to announce that. I don't think
Mhm.
you get rid of them a year later unless
There's
you just
not-
realize it's a sinking ship.
There's not many
Yeah.
scenarios where you're going to bring in a rookie driver at the age of, what is he, like 36, 37 now?
Not that
Yeah,
old,
he'll
but
be
he's
30.
like,
He's like
30,
Yes, he
34.
is.
I think he's
I don't know, I
34.
thought we were me and him were the same age.
You and Josh Barry, jeez.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I thought he was born in '87.
He might have been. I don't know.
He's 33. He's 33.
Oh,
Oh, I was close.
Still, that's an old age for.
We got a late
Being a
start.
rookie.
Period.
Yeah.
In the top two series.
Yeah.
So
A lot of that probably had to deal with funding. So
Yeah. Sally, I'm going to assume one of them is Priest. Who's the other one?
I tell you who I'm not keeping in that.
Priest is going to track house.
Priest.
I'm going to take that
Priest in the place of
99.
Imagine.
Do you see that
Absolutely.
sass?
He can go back to selling. He can go help United Rentals sell some shit, whatever the hell they sell. 'Cause he's good at promoting them.
okay.
Jeez.
I think you keep Josh Berry for sure. I think no matter what happens the rest of this year, you're keeping him because, like you guys said, I mean, they went out of their way to announce this guy. You don't bring in a 33-year-old just to kick him out after a year just because you have another seat. And I mean, it's really a toss-up between Briscoe and Gregson. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I probably, even with Gregson still getting a couple top 10s and everything, I would have probably still said Briscoe because maybe Gregson just got lucky, but he's starting to put these races together and become somewhat consistent.
when he's finishing better than the organization he left.
Way
That is
better.
true.
That switch to Toyota, who everybody thought, oh, they're going to come out strong out of this gate. So That should tell you something.
I cannot believe Briscoe wasn't unanimous. Like the guy, I don't know what he.
I think it comes down to funding. I think it comes down to who has the most funding.
He's running good this year, but he has no stage points. He's just getting lucky finishes. I feel like.
What if that sponsor is leaving after this year?
Okay,
Briscoe don't have no sponsor then.
Yeah, I have to add a third option. Okay, we discussed JTG. They're how they're in jeopardy for next season, right?
Yeah.
With the Kroger deal, because without Kroger they don't have anything, and Kroger moving to Joe Gibbs could lean, in my mind, to them selling their charter to maybe 2311 and merging somewhere in that capacity. Maybe Geschickter goes to Gibbs Racing and Doherty goes to 2311 to be a part owner in that. But my theory is maybe with that new charter being on the market and maybe thinking that we don't have as many suitors for it, could SHR just sell one and rock with Barry, Gregson, and Briscoe? To me, that'd be the best decision because we think Truex is retiring, right? I think so.
If he doesn't, it's just a bad decision if he doesn't retire after this year.
That would leave Bass Pro open, and they have a good relationship with Noah Gragson.
And Josh Berry. And Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
We think Austin Dillon's retiring soon, so they literally could go still sponsor two cars on the same fucking team with the same manufacturer instead of splitting it up.
That'd make more sense for them, right? I mean,
would.
And you know,
they're doing it with Overstock.
Yeah, I know we didn't really. I know, was it you, Tegan, that didn't think Doherty would go to 2311?
I just don't see 2311 needing another owner. That just, to me, pollutes the water. It dirties it up.
I don't see that.
You do not need another owner when you have Michael Jordan.
Right, but listen,
don't need it.
You know that Brad Doherty and Michael Jordan were college teammates.
That's fine and dandy, but I'm not letting some dipshit that failed on two teams come into my house and be owner and play house. I'm not doing it. Hell, Michael Jordan owns that team outright. Denny Hamlin's just there because he knows what he's doing.
And he has a minority
Michael Jordan
stake,
has majority
ownership. Well, I was about to say,
probably 80%. So he does not need an owner. It ain't like he's going to be hard to find money if he needs to. He's got resources. So I just don't think you pollute it with a third owner. It just makes no sense.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? We got a little sidetracked into different conversations. Any other thoughts on the race at Dover? Any highlights for anybody? We had that big wreck with Bubba, Byron, and Bell. And the commentators just kept saying Bowman.
Yeah, it was Bowman. Bowman did this. Bowman did that.
Yeah.
Mike Joy was having a rough day. He had a very Darryl Waltrip.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even give Darryl Waltrip that kind of hate. Darryl Waltrip was just stupid.
He kept saying Bowman because fucking there was a purple car, but Bowman's purple's darker than the fucking 20 car.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about Christopher Bell after this? He's not having a good year, and he is currently outside of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And that's no point penalties.
Bubba said in a little social media post, F the plan. What is he talking about?
That was at
Talladega. When they got wrecked. After they got wrecked, he said that fuck the plan because they took out half the Toyota. So he was speaking truth.
It did work, technically.
It would have worked, but
I think it would have worked had it played out. I think it would have worked, yeah.
Well, I saw that today, and I thought, what? I mean, I didn't know what he was talking about. If that's
did you see it on some random news article online? Because I've noticed that they're starting to use NASCAR to write some bogus headlines. Like one at work popped up on mine said 3 drivers rushed to the infield care center. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
They've got to go to the infield care center after every
We
crash.
had one guy, fracture his spine or whatever the fuck he did, his back fracture or whatever, and now they're writing articles saying that we had to rush 3 drivers to the infield care center. It's just bullshit articles. AI probably wrote them or some shit. So
Clickbait.
Basically, yeah, clickbait, just to get you to click on it and they get their pay.
Well, what fooled me was because I got up to start work at 3 a.m. and I saw it was posted 5 hours prior to that, and I thought, oh, okay, what is he talking about playing at Dover?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a plan, but all right, but anyway.
From Talladega. Yeah, we didn't talk about Jones. His stats
This week
kind of
you
in
would probably
question.
hear something like "fuck Zane Smith."
Yeah, Zane
Yeah.
Smith is.
He said
just
something about
the
Squirrel,
market
didn't he?
race all year.
I'd actually
Probably.
think that Zane Smith, it was more Reddick's fault. Zane Smith, I guess they were saying on
Yeah.
DVC that Zane Smith was fully out of the gas. Reddick took him 3 wide and put Zane Smith in a really bad spot in the middle. And Dover is not a great track to be 3 wide at coming off of that corner. And I guess
No.
Zane Smith's SMT showed he was fully off the gas trying to get out of it. But it just chased him up the track and he got up into Bubba. Bubba was pretty bummed out after that. He was pretty bummed out after that wreck. He was slamming his helmet, which I like emotion. We like showing emotion. We're gonna go a little off track here. Michael Waltrip posted a TikTok last night.
Can I play it?
I have it ready to go.
You got it up? Okay, good.
I have it ready
I
to go.
love this. I love this.
It's insane.
It's really good.
Oh, geez.
All right.
Oh God, what is this?
Oh my god.
Yeah. How do I go full screen? Oh, that's
That's
the
big
photo
thing.
he
I don't
posted.
know that you can really go full screen.
Here we go.
So lately I've been getting in my pool because I heard information. I don't know what I heard. Like so much bullshit about health. I just don't think my balls are freezing. Hopefully it helps. You just give it all you got. This is not a polar plunge.
Dude's getting a blowjob in the water.
Like in the 60s maybe. But some bitch. Whew. It's cold. I mean, really. Okay. I hope you enjoyed Dover today. It was amazing. The crowd was awesome. The vibe was energetic.
Dude can't talk right. It must be
The
some
vibe
good
was
blow.
amazing.
I bet it was.
guy-
Take a shower, dude.
That guy was zoinked.
He was absolutely either boozed up or on one of our Cushy Dreams gummies or something. Because he was like,
this
all about implement.
Was that appropriate to play this on YouTube platform? I feel like it was pornographic,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, why not?
TikTok, it's fine.
I mean, you
okay.
had a knife on YouTube, and
Yeah, he.
Hey, don't
Might
make
have
me
been
back
nice.
out. Oh man.
Crowd liked that one. That's good. I was hoping that I saw that last night. I was like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I was kind of out on Michael Waltrip a lot of the time because most of the time he's just a fucking blubbering idiot out there.
Now we know
But
why.
I think I might.
Now we know why.
Yeah, the guy's boozed up all the time. I think that I might respect Michael Waltrip more now.
Michael
Now
Walker.
that I know he's a complete and utter booze bag.
Don't forget about his brewery.
Start calling him Boozy Water.
It all makes sense. He's sitting there drinking Michael Waltrip fucking brew in his goddamn hot tub in the booth at Kansas in fucking 20 whatever year that was in the truck race last year. Yeah.
He broke the one rule: you don't take your own supply.
This is a rare Spencer good comment. He does have quite an obsession with Daniel Dye.
Maybe
With 2024
I would love him
Atlanta
in the
pole
pool.
winner Daniel Dye.
That's a great point.
Well,
That's a great point.
you also have to keep in mind that everybody except for that one poor individual soul is a fan of Daniel Dye. Because we didn't get kicked in the dick. That poor kid did.
You're a toxic individual. You come back from one episode and you're toxic the entire time. Spencer, you're all right. He does talk about Daniel Dye quite a bit. He'll be running like 25th, I wish he would talk more about
Always around
Jock
the
Wood,
Rex.
though. He does always he gets a good view of the Rex usually. Usually he's part of it on the shopdanielDye.com or Race to Stop Suicide onboard camera. Anyway, I was going to make a bad joke. Can't do that.
Come on.
Who won the Xfinity race?
And stop the suicide of those dudes.
Oh, it
nuts.
was
Ryan
yeah,
Ryan
he goes,
Truex.
good for him. Probably deserves a ride. We'll never get a sponsor. Sorry. But yeah, good for him. I was rooting for Carson Quapple there late. I was out and about and saw on the phone that he was leading one of the overtime restarts. Turned it on for a second while I was chillaxing, and Austin Hill tried to kill him. Didn't work.
Mhm.
Austin Hill doing Austin Hill shit.
Austin Hill is a clown.
He's the next intimidator, though.
Absolutely.
He gets in the
is.
cup, people are going to get out of the way.
I don't think so.
Over.
I don't think they're going to put up with it.
I don't
I
think he's
think
going to run good, so don't worry about it.
I think that Austin
true.
Hill is going to put fear in everybody. I would be afraid of him if we get out of the car because he's a
He's a big
fucking
dude.
tank. He's a fucking tank.
He's stupid strong.
That's okay. We just get Daniel Dye. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn right. Don't think I ain't fucking below it or above it. Whatever. I'll hit him
You'll
right in the
blow
goal
it.
You ain't above
And
it
then
from
as soon as
below
he
it.
gets level to my level, pop him right in the fucking eyeballs.
Yeah.
He fucking murdered Maya Snyder.
I'll be the only one in NASCAR that got suspended for sexual harassment and battery assault. So then ring his
Jeez,
fucking bell.
Jeez Louise. It's getting a little crazy out here. But good for Ryan Truex. I believe he's one of like 4 or 5 drivers within the last year that have won multiple Xfinity races, and he's only raced in like 12 of them. So shout out to him.
Who was the guy that got caught on fire? Was that
Ryan
Sieg?
Sieg.
Ryan
Ron
Sieg, yeah.
Seems to be a
Motherfucker
theme.
running.
That's a
That
Ryan
was
thing
crazy.
this week, I guess. Yeah.
Ryan got on fire. Oh, Ryan Priest, yeah. Ryan Sieg.
Sieg was running for his life.
If
Yeah,
Ryan
right.
Parsons was near an open flame, it probably wouldn't go too well.
Oh my god!
It's burning.
It's black.
Yeah, after it's put out, Ryan, it's black.
Oh man, Ryan Harp's the only guy that hasn't gotten involved in fire this week, I think.
Blaney was fine.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney. Hey, can we talk about Ford? Is it time to ring the panic, hit the
Yes.
panic button on your car keys?
I mean,
I still think. I think we do this every year.
Blaney was the
Yeah,
only
I
one
think
that
they're
ran top
sandbagging.
10 yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, him and Gregson, but he was the only one consistently up there.
Yeah, he was the only one up there all day.
I would have my hand
Still think we're
over
sandbagging.
the panic button, but I wouldn't push it just yet.
See this? See that button right there? I am
Mhm.
smashing it right now.
Oh man.
I am smashing the alarm on my car keys for Ford. You've had the difference with it with Ford the last couple of years. There were races like Joey Logano won a few early in 2022. There were ones where Ryan Blaney probably should have won and showed winning speed. Yeah, but this is part of the reason why there's a problem, because they made the dark horse different to fix that issue that they were having, to be more competitive throughout the year. I think it's time to sound the alarm, because they have only been competitive at drafting tracks. Ryan Blaney's been really good and has been consistent, but is there a race this year where he's had winning speed?
You want to know what this reminds me of? Remember when Chevy was really
Camaro.
dragging ass?
Yeah.
And the
For 2
only
years.
2 drivers who were keeping it up were Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, and everybody
And the 9
else
and
was
the
just
42,
dragging ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like that, but it's just Ryan
Yeah.
Blaney.
And I mean, who would even say the second one is? Maybe even Chase Briscoe right now.
Yeah.
It seems like
Uh,
a Stuart Haas car. Don't know who,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be one of them.
But
Yeah.
Because Joey's just shit this year. So,
I
Which is
gotta say,
weird.
man,
It's an odd year. This should be Joey's fucking year, dude.
but
I mean,
I was
Joey-
watching him that Dover race. He was running 19th and getting brake
Yeah,
trained.
I mean,
by other
Joey's been
cars,
bad
so-
at tracks, but at the beginning of the year, he probably could have won like the first 3 races. And
Something went off track there.
Well, he could have
He
won
wrecked.
Daytona and Atlanta, but he definitely had a shot at Richmond. But he just it's weird because the way Joey's career has gone, it went in a direction you wouldn't have expected. You know, you have his years at Joe Gibbs where he's not good and is considered probably a bust, right? In the 4 years he had there. He goes to Penske, then lights the world on fire for maybe 3-4 years, then misses the playoffs in 2017. Kind of is the
Encumbered
first.
win.
Two
We're in
cucumbered
that.
wins. Two
Yeah.
cucumbered wins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the year after wins the championship by barely sneaking into the Final Four with that win over Truex at Martinsville. And then since then, you know, Joey hasn't had like a big year, right? Like we expected Joey to be a guy that wins 5 races maybe every year. But last year, his only win was Atlanta. That could very easily be somebody else winning that race, you know? It was very close to being Brad in that race. And then you got to, like,
Brad
to me,
is shit.
his only win in 2021 was Bristol Dirt, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about a pretty large sample size here of Joey Logano not performing to the standard I think we look at him as.
Yeah, he should have
we-
at least had 1 or 2 wins by now, like dominant wins, just like
Yeah.
we've seen him.
Yeah. So if you're Joey Logano, like, it's kind of just like a hot take to try to just spill out there and see what y'all think. Is Joey Logano past the peak of his career? Is Joey Logano on the decline? What do we think, guys?
I think he needs a new crew chief.
Yeah.
Really dope.
So I think it was about 3 years ago when Brad was still there. They did a crew chief swap, all 3 of them.
I think it was 2020.
Paul Wolf's like
And
Rodney.
2021.
He does not know how to figure this car out.
Mm-hmm. Like I think he got Brad's crew chief at the time.
Paul
Paul
Wolf.
Paul
yeah.
Wolf
Oh,
Paul Wolf.
still has him,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Still has him
Yeah.
now. Yeah. And then I think see, like the 2 got Blaney's and then Blaney got the 22.
And then Todd
No,
Gordon
where did Hassler
retired.
come from? I don't think
Todd
Hassler.
Gordon.
retired.
Where did he
Well,
come
Todd
from?
Gordon went
Gordon
with.
was-
Yeah, that's right.
Todd Gordon went to Blaney.
I
and
love
then
Jonathan
retired.
Hassler though. He makes a couple dumb decisions, but Jonathan Hassler, I think, is a very underrated crew chief.
He's a Cup champion, you know. Any other thought? Like, who do we think Logano? Does he just need a new crew chief? Do we think he's kind of past the point of like is Joey going to be a guy that maybe a big year for him is winning 3 races from now on?
He may not be peak 2013
I
to
think in this car, I
2016
think winning 3
Logano.
races is really good.
Yeah,
That's a good
if
point,
he gets
yeah.
a new crew chief like Tegan just said, I think he'll get his stock back up and win races again.
I don't think he wins another championship,
No, I agree.
but
I
I
can agree
think
with that.
How old is he?
He's
He's younger.
in
He's
his
probably
30s.
younger than
he's
Josh
a little
Berry
older than
still.
Josh Berry, I think.
I think he has about like 15 more.
33.
wins.
He's right at the
30,
same, he's the same age as Josh Berry. Yeah.
10 to 15 more wins probably, but I don't think he ever lights the world on fire the way we're used to him have performing before.
It's just a
I
weird
don't think
career
that'd
arc.
go that far. That could go either way. All it takes is a crew chief change. That's all it takes. All it
think
takes
he
is
can
poaching a crew chief from a good team.
I think he can get 20 more wins. I mean, that would mean 2 wins for 10 years.
And one of those just come at Phoenix, and you're a champion, just like you did here a couple years ago. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
So I don't
That's
know
not
if you can say that
true
he's not gonna
because
win a
Ross
championship 'cause
Chastain
he's
won.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Ross Chastain, cross-eyed dummy's got to make it there first, and he's got too many enemies. So, and they outlawed his little move at Martinsville, so he can't do that no more. He can't pull a Spencer.
Dover's a track where, like, I picked Ross Chastain this week, thinking that this would be a big breakout week for him this year. Dover's a track where that
Again,
one
wasn't it?
car has finished top 5 at in both of the races previously. He was a non-conversation the entire race,
Mhm.
running mid-teens. And well, with how it's been
That
this
team's hit
season,
and miss.
I think with how it's been this season, though, like if you're not Hendrick or Joe Gibbs, you're kind of screwed. Like, so is it time for Trackhouse to say, like, to look in the mirror and say maybe we need to change how we're doing things? Because they hit right early on in the next gen car, but they've gotten, I'd say, worse progressively throughout the next gen era. What do you think? Do you think that Ross Chastain, because he hasn't showed winning speed to me at all this year, do we think he needs to kind of sound the alarm on maybe the playoffs this year?
He might be on the verge of missing it.
He is 10th in points right now.
So
I think he's tied with Bowman for ninth.
He is, yeah.
I don't think Trackhouse has got.
I don't think we get 16 winners either. So
No, I don't think Trackhouse has gotten worse. I just think everybody else's competitive game gotten better. I think
agree
that's
with
what
that,
it boils
because I
down.
think-
we kind of called this when this car come out and they started running
Cream always
really good.
rises to the top.
I kinda-
Two best teams in NASCAR are prevailing.
I called it, that they were playing with house money, new car. They went out there and put all this, their effort into it, and everybody's caught up. They literally probably went out there and actually got the information for Hendrick. Said, "Hey, here's what we're doing," and Hendrick's like, "Oh, thank you." They took it and made it better, and now they're not giving it back. So they're not sharing.
Yeah.
They're not resharing.
Yeah.
We're regifting. So that's exactly what happens,
Yeah.
and I think that's exactly what happened to Stuart Haas with Penske and Roush at the time. That they shared information and didn't get shit back. So I think as a team, you got to quit sharing.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the standings here. So we've got these guys up here 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 17 and 18 with wins, which Christopher Bell not having a great start, 3 DNFs. Really
But he's
hit
got
or
a
miss
win.
that 20. He does have a
So
win
he's
right
in the
now.
playoffs, so he's not
He is,
missing it.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. I forgot that he won. Where did he win?
He won Phoenix.
Dude, when y'all said
That's
that earlier,
right.
I thought I'm pretty sure this dude has a win.
Dude, I completely
he has
forgot
a
that
win.
he won.
Yeah,
I
but he's been
completely forgot that he won.
struggling. Like, you don't expect with how good, with the Hendrick cars being first, third, sixth, and ninth in points, and the other Gibbs cars being second, fourth, and eighth. Christopher
And
Bell
Toyota
being
and
17th is kind of a surprise, with Bubba and Reddick ahead of him. Reddick's right here, fifth in points, doing a great job. Here's why I'm kind of a little wary if I'm Ross Chastain. You've got Logano here who, as we were just having that conversation about him, I think he will find a way to win once.
We got
before the
Atlanta coming up
playoffs.
again.
Atlanta's actually in the playoffs this year. So
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, that's true.
you've got Bubba Wallace, who I think also can win. I think Chris Buescher, because
He's had a bad couple strand of weeks though. Like he's had 3 straight DNFs, 2 straight DNFs.
But
Oh,
Bubba
wow.
does this every year, though. He
Yeah.
has the stretch every year, and then they finally get it turned around, and it's almost too late, or they just get it just in time.
Yeah.
I was thinking Chastain maybe would be in trouble for the playoffs, but I don't see many people that are going to step up and get over him.
I think he points his way in, at least, if he doesn't win.
I'm
I
curious.
don't
Where's
think,
Daniel Suarez?
unless he
at
gets a
in
point
points?
penalty
18th?
somewhere along the line.
18th. So he's fringe regardless.
So right now, Brad and Bubba are out.
Right.
Yes,
We have 2
yes,
below.
because of the 17th
Okay.
and 18th.
Yeah, the cut line is the 17 and the 20th. It's right here. Yeah. And if there's another non-winner, like a non-top 16 guy that wins, I'm going to go down pretty far here and look at Michael McDowell, who, tier 1 front row has not really been that hot this year. Michael
He's had
McDowell
some
had a
really
lot of-
bad luck though. I will
Yeah,
say.
He had a lot
Yeah.
of weird issues,
He's actually
If
been
they get on
showing
road
speed
courses,
on
it
mile
seems
and
like they
halves
can't
this
keep
year.
their shit running.
Is that Todd Gilliland ahead of him in points?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
I mean,
Daniel
you also
Hemrick.
forget Michael McDowell was running right outside the top 5 at Texas for a good majority of the race.
He
and
keeps
then
having
DNF.
pit road issues,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then he wrecked himself at Talladega.
Can we talk about
Tier 1 alliance, but you don't have tier 1 equipment and you don't have a tier 1 pit crew, so it's really keeping them behind.
Hocevar in 20th and Corey LaJoy being 30th is kind of crazy.
When that 77 car was fucking 35th in points
Yeah.
last
And there needs to be another conversation about Zane Smith because
year.
he's
Oh,
behind
God.
Kaz Gralla, who hasn't raced every race. Who missed the race.
Look, Jimmy Johnson is 2 races behind him.
70 points behind.
Yeah, he's
That's
73
ridiculous.
What the
points back.
fuck?
That's ridiculous.
Also, shout out Jimmy Johnson. We did not see his car in the fence this week at all.
It was just 7
Round of
laps down.
applause.
It was
Yeah,
too
yeah.
slow to spin.
It was just slow as
It was
fuck.
glued to the track.
yeah.
Man, come on now. Poor Jimmy. He shouldn't do this.
I hate it. Yeah, he doesn't. He does not need.
Who-
Which then again, he's got 7 championships. Who the fuck cares?
I think he's doing it because I
I
think
don't think it's going to tarnish his legacy, but it's just sad to watch. It really is.
What did you say
Still
last
doesn't look
night,
good.
Mike? Mikeman said something about Jimmy Johnson finishing like laps down in Dover, and he made a comparison to somebody. I didn't know who he was talking about. It just wasn't normal.
It was somebody
didn't
else
look
tweeted
right.
it, wasn't it? I think he's reading a tweet.
Yeah, no, I did read a tweet. I forget exactly what it was, but yeah.
Yeah, you were reading off that tweet, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh, it's Jimmy Johnson finishing laps down at Dover is like Joey Chestnut getting acid reflux
Yeah.
after the first hot dog.
Yeah.
I thought that was really
I know this
really
is
funny.
off topic, but I just got a notification that Logan Paul brought fucking Pat Mahomes to
What the
Monday
fuck?
Night Raw.
The fuck is going on over there?
I mean,
Got Logan Paul though.
Green's hella
Any,
smart.
anything else stand out for anybody on the points here? Something that stands out to me. Daniel Hemrick's made a steady climb. He's now 25th, ahead of Stenhouse, LaJoy, and Dillon. So not a bad year for Hemrick, I guess. Just 2 top 10s in a row will help you with that. Does anything stand out for anybody else here?
I'm kind of surprised that
Okay,
Austin
so
Cindric
I want to
is
see
kinda
Noah
close
Gregson.
to
If you take away his
team.
40 point, where would that had put him? It was a 40 point
35 points.
penalty. Okay,
It'd
It puts him
190
Brian
behind.
Suarez.
Yeah, 185 plus 30 is 15. But so yeah, he'd be at 220, 19th in points.
Be 190 behind.
Yeah. So he'd be something around 45 points out of the playoffs. Instead, he's 80 right now. So
And doing that without getting stage points too, by the way, because he didn't get stage
Yeah.
points all the
4
Sunday,
top
so-
10s. 4
I mean,
top
he
10s.
only
That's
has
as good
what?
as Denny Hamlin.
3. He only has 3 stage points all season,
3
right?
stage points. Yep. And hey,
That's what kills for
Hosevar's
his stage
right
points.
here at 0, That's another thing with Chris Buescher. Look, he is the cut line right now, and he's only gotten 18 stage points this year.
18. How many has Brad got? 35, so
35.
double.
Yeah. And if you look at the stats, right? 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s. Buescher's got 1 top 5, 5 top 10s. And Buescher's got 18 stage points. Brad's got 35. You'd think if you see those in front
How
of
do
you.
you think
that-
Brad would have had a damn point penalty or
Exactly.
something with those kind of stats?
Yeah, exactly. But I guess Brad's been, less consistent. And Buescher, I feel like finishes like just outside of the top 10 a lot. He's from Prosper, Texas.
Brad also has
His average
that
finish is 14. Go back up right there. Go back up. Go back
14.
up. It showed his average finish right there. Compare that to Brad right there.
14.7.
14.7.
That'll do
What
it.
the fuck? How?
Well,
I
look,
mean, it's only
so
2
Brad-
spots. It doesn't
Average
feel like it
finish
should
is
be that
3
much,
spots,
though.
but
He also has that extra DNF.
Yeah,
True.
he's one more DNF. 30th at Dover was non-competitive. 24th here. 33rd, 13th, 33rd, 33rd. If you look at Buescher,
It's probably all just like in that.
yeah,
11th to
a
15th
lot of
range.
mid-teens. Yeah,
Yeah.
15, 15, 17. This
Got
is
a
a really good
37
stretch.
The
for
last
him
2
right
races
here.
Vegas
killed him a little
really
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of killed his average.
What is this photo?
Bro, Brad is always taking the zestiest photos I've ever seen.
Brad's always fucking bent straight over for the camera. What's
And
he got,
Mike
that
Man's
face?
clicking on it.
And zooming.
He's biting his
He's
lip.
biting his bottom lip, dude. Look at him.
This is the sex symbol of NASCAR right here, guys. This is gonna bring people to the sport. This is like when Dale Jr. did MTV Cribs. Let's do picks here. Oh, I gotta share that with you, Tegan. I'm not gonna dox your email on stream. You wanted it to be shared to you, right?
Yeah, to the right email.
Yahoo, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I shared it with you just now.
Yahoo!
Let me. I haven't done it quite
That's what
yet here.
Sal's practicing, by the way. That's what he's going to be doing here in about a month.
Bradley Domer Jr. picks up a big win for him, getting full maximum points here, which puts him up to second place with 13 points.
Holy fuck,
Sally.
I took Hamrick.
Yeah, turned out to be actually a good pick.
It didn't give me no points.
Yeah. Sally gets 2 points. He's up to 5.
Now I kind of wish I took Jenny.
Notice how I had the worst start out of everyone. Was the last to get points, but I'm second.
Yeah, and I flipped. I've had a rough few weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, having Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson back-to-back weeks and neither of them scoring points for me has just got to be the worst luck of all time.
Shit, I've gotten points the last 3 weeks and 1-2 of the last 3.
Yeah. Let's get the order right here. I don't. This is the what's on the bottom left isn't correct. That's last week's. I don't have picks from Matt yet. I texted JB. I don't think I have a pick from him. So let's count them
I'm
out.
assuming Matt picks first. With Willie
Who do you
Byron
pick?
there.
Byron.
I'll be right back. Give me
William.
1 second.
Okay.
He's the only one that
next-
had a wrecked car, so
I would assume it would go whoever had.
By the way,
Byron-
this is like the wildest
Is it
week-to-week
me?
swing. This
It'd
is the
be-
wildest week-to-week swing I've seen in picks in a long time. Like, look at Talladega and then look at Dover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I picking first here?
I
think
think
so.
Matt is, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matt
it's
hasn't
Matt.
sent me.
Yeah.
It goes Matt, you. Then I would say whoever had Hemrick. Then
Probably me.
Yeah. Yeah. And then JB, and then Kev Ryan, and then the final 3. So Maddie has not sent me his pick yet. So I am picking first here. So do I take a swing? What do I do? I'm going to go Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick is my pick. So next up, I believe, will be you, Tegan.
I'm torn between 2 Hendrick cars. Oh, well, no, mind. I can't take him. Kyle Larson. Can't take Willie Byron, so.
Reddick and Larson off the board, probably the 2 favorites. Next up, since JB has not sent me his pick yet, will be Kev Ryan, who picked Chase Elliott to finish 5th and somehow not get points.
That's been our luck.
Yeah. You're the representative here this week. Who is your pick?
We're going to do Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs. That's a good pick. I like that quite a bit. Next up, it is Sal back. Hi, Sal. Welcome back. Who do you like?
It's my turn.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Wessel.
I will take. Give me Bubba Wallace.
Son of a bitch.
All right, now it's you, Sal.
Give me. Where are we at next week?
Darlington.
Darlington.
Just no, I think I've picked him already.
Who?
Yeah, I have. Who's in the 15 this week?
Let me look.
Is it Kaz?
You can. Derek Kraus is in the 16 if you're interested in that.
Yeah, give me Derek Kraus.
Okay.
Yeah, Kraut.
He wins. Brattles, you're up.
I want to go Jones, but I don't know if he's running, and I don't know if he'd run well after his back injury because he did finish 3rd here last year.
Also, is it confirmed that he's back in the car?
He's in
I
the
don't think it
entry
is.
list, but
on the
it's,
entry
it's
list.
not determined if he's going to
Yeah.
race yet or not.
But this is the fringe top 10, top 15 car both races last year. I'm going to go Daniel Suarez.
That's actually not a bad pick. I almost picked him.
We'll get Matt and JB's picks during the week at some point, whenever they decide to text me back. So yeah, I think those are all good picks. I think we probably picked top 3 again. Maybe I think Larson, Reddick, Wallace would make sense as the top 3, or even Gibbs up there too. Is there anything y'all want to cover before we get out of here?
I don't think so.
Fox.
Yeah,
Fox. Yeah. Do we need to do this again?
It's 8:30. I mean, come on, let's get real here.
This is going to be
They
a
sucked.
30-minute rant.
Fox sucked. They're more worried about showing fans than the race.
Yep.
One W for Fox I'll give them this weekend.
The
Getting in
Byron
touch
thing.
with Eric Jones on pit road,
That was good.
knowing that he was at the track. That was cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Having him as kind of like a pseudo pit reporter that they checked in on, I think like twice during the race. I think that was cool.
I must miss that one.
I think they only did it once, but yeah, they
They did it once, but I think they said that they were going to go back to him, and I don't think they ever did. But I wish they would have.
Yeah. They yeah, that's fine. I like that. It was a bad one for Mike Joy. And I love Mike Joy, and I hate to say it, but he had quite a bad performance.
Bowman calls that right. Bowman was in that right.
And after they interviewed Byron, he said Larson will fall out of the top 6 in points, and it's like, what?
Well, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So
Well, the race ain't even over yet. I caught that. I just didn't realize he said Larson. I actually thought he was talking about Byron, but
that didn't make sense.
I
to me.
caught the point thing. Yeah,
I was like, that's not.
I thought the
how
same thing. I'm
points
like, the race ain't over. The rest of them could wreck. He
Yeah,
can stay where he's
exactly.
at.
Yeah. And Dover is known for the little big ones, and it's so tight and compact. There's plenty of big wrecks there that happen on the back stretch and even the front stretch if somebody misses a shift, as we were talking about earlier. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to discuss. Anybody want anything to come out of their mouth before we shut this off? Tegan raised his eyebrows, unsurprisingly, at that part.
Maybe just one little thing.
Sure.
F1. Where do they race that Sunday? St. Petersburg.
That
That's
full
Indy-
fucking
Indy.
Can we talk about
Well, we got
IndyCar
that
at
was an
St.
article
Petersburg?
today on my website too, and I'm like,
Okay,
Fox News
that's why I was wanting to make
had it,
sure
and I'm
that
like,
was.
And
do I
it
want to
was
click on
IndyCar.
it?
Okay, that was an IndyCar race. Okay.
The sex
Just wanna make-
mannequin.
Yes,
To blow up
fell
doll?
on the track.
Yeah.
It was not a blow up doll.
No, I saw
Oh, so
Joseph.
somebody
It was a
spent good
Joseph
money on it.
Newgarden.
Scott McGough.
Scott McLaughlin.
McGough,
Yeah.
yep.
I
Had
saw
the
he took a
photo with it.
picture with it
Yeah,
post race. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Did he win the race?
he did.
Can we?
Yeah.
He was the one that hit
it.
He
That
hit
was
it.
a trophy.
Yeah.
I
Knocked his hand off.
I know we're not in IndyCar or open wheel podcast, but can we talk about them changing the results a month later?
Yeah,
We
what's up
did
with
not
that?
talk
Because
about
they
that,
found out something that does not look
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
for sport. I don't care what
They found
happens.
out something like weeks later in
The
the
push
warm
to
for the
pass.
next race. Yeah, they found it in the next race, so they DQ'd him for the first one. Which they were cheating and they were deploying it when they weren't allowed to. And
Did
that
you
was
see
proven.
the like video of Newgarden using it right away on the restart?
Yeah,
Like that.
and they had
that's
some
pretty
lame
crazy.
excuse like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we could do that now," and it's like,
You got a lot through it.
But let's
You don't
compare
have a
that-
choice.
Let's compare that to NASCAR. Let's say how Joey Logano's little webbed gloves when he was doing his qualifying run. Let's say 3
Which, to be
weeks
quite
later,
honest, was really good.
I like
It
that.
really
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
don't
That's
know.
good.
Safety. It
Yeah.
wasn't safety approved. If it was safety approved, he would have been fine. So
Yeah. But let's say that they went 3 weeks later and somebody was like, hey, wasn't that glove webbed? And I know it's hypothetical at this point, but if they were to have tried to penalize Joey Logano that race, oh, well, you cheated. Now here we are 3 weeks later. You're disqualified from even being in attendance of the race. Your position's not even,
Yeah.
whatever you finished at. We would have a freaking episode
meltdown.
full of what kind of bull crap that is. Yeah, a total meltdown.
And you're right, but I feel like this is expected in IndyCar. It's a completely different set of governing
Or yeah.
than what NASCAR does, and it seems like that shit's expected. like it didn't surprise me to see that article. At first, I thought it was like clickbait when I clicked on it at work one day this past week, and I actually clicked on it, thought maybe it was a year old article, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes you get articles that literally were posted last year, and for some reason they're making their rounds again or something. So, and then I'm like, oh shit, that just happened here like a month ago. I thought, well, that's kind of fucking stupid. I'd be pissed as if I'm Roger Penske, who owns the sport and the cars.
Absolutely.
And it's not a good look for a sport to go that far back and change the results. You know, a fine would have been good, just as good in my opinion. You know, sit them out for qualifying or something later on, but to change the results of a race that's already a month past. I mean, you done forgot about that race and shit, so it's just not a good look.
I called Sal because it gave his favorite driver the win. I was like, Sal, Pato won St. Petersburg, and he was like, what?
I think I told him, I'm like, no, a Newgarden won. He's like, he was just disqualified
a month later.
No, if they'd have done it after the race, it would have been fine. That just goes to show you that they don't have the officiating NASCAR does. I think we do over officiate sometimes, but it seems like IndyCar doesn't have enough of it. So
to compare it to NASCAR, it's like announcing last week that NASCAR said, well, we actually just realized that Alex Bowman was ahead of William Byron at the time of caution at the Daytona 500. So he can win now.
Oh, if NASCAR, if they find that out, they're like, nobody say a fucking word, because you're not going to look like a fucking dumbass, especially after the uproar that was caused over that shit, and then to come back 2-3 months later and say, you know what, fans, you were right. We're going to fix it. Nope.
And this guy next to me,
I'm paying off some people.
He's going to be on the hit list there of stepping on NASCAR's corporate office doorstep, banging on the doors like, let me in so I can kick your ass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a passionate Bowman fan. Like,
but be right about it. That's just it. Just be right about it.
And I feel like IndyCar had to come down hard on it just because
it was a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal. It makes a huge difference because restarts are a big point of overtaking in that sport. And it was cars owned by the series owner, which is a conflict of interest in itself, right? When the series owner is a part owner in cars. That to me is a problem. But because if we had Steve Phelps Motorsports, like,
which is funny because back in the day when NASCAR started, Brian, the Brants had cars out there with drivers in it and themselves. So we built on conflict of interest. We just don't do it now.
Yeah, I just think that was a bad look for sure. All right, time to get out of here. Thank you everybody for watching. Bradley and Wessel were here today. Bradley will be on regularly now. Hopefully Wessel gets more Mondays off and he can hang out with us more.
Oh, not gonna happen. This is a rare calamity.
Brad.
It's gotten dark over there since we've been on.
It really has. We watched the sunset in the background of Kevron. All right, everybody, see you later. Kevron is wielding a knife. Oh my goodness.
The dude's gonna slap